Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about two of the most important and valuable American coins, the 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial $1 coin and the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy Bicentennial Half Dollar coin. These coins were created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence, and they carry a unique historical and collectible value that makes them highly desirable among coin collectors. The Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar and the Kennedy Bicentennial Half Dollar are not just ordinary coins. They are treasures of U.S. history, and many people are surprised to learn just how valuable these bicentennial coins can be today. That is why I want you to stay with me and watch this video until the very end, because I will be sharing everything you need to know about these special coins, their designs, their background, and why collectors everywhere consider them so important. If you are interested in coin collecting, rare coins, and valuable U.S. bicentennial coins, then this video is made for you. First up, the most valuable Eisenhower Bicentennial $1 coin. The 1976 Eisenhower $1 coin is one of the most iconic and collectible coins in American history, and in this video we're going to take a deep look at this coin and why it is considered valuable. The Eisenhower dollar was already a significant coin when it was introduced in the early 1970s. But the 1976 Bicentennial Eisenhower Dollar has a special place in the world of coin collecting because it was issued to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence. When we think about coins that carry both historical meaning and collector value, the 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar always comes to mind, and it is important to understand the details of this coin, because those details are what make it so special. The Eisenhower dollar was first minted in 1971, honoring President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the five-star general and 34th President of the United States. But when 1976 came around, the U.S. Mint wanted to create something unique to mark the bicentennial of the United States, and so the Eisenhower dollar received a special design for that celebration. On the obverse, or front, the coin still shows the portrait of President Eisenhower, but on the reverse, instead of the normal design, with the eagle landing on the moon, the Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar shows a stunning image of the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon. This design, created by Dennis R. Williams, was chosen through a national competition, and it symbolizes both freedom and America's achievements in space exploration. That is why the 1976 Eisenhower dollar is so important. It is a coin that tells the story of America's past and its future at the same time. The 1976 Eisenhower dollar was minted in two different years, 1975 and 1976, but all of them carry the dual date 1776 to 1976 to honor the bicentennial. This dual date is part of what makes the coin instantly recognizable to collectors. When someone sees 1776 to 1976 on a U.S. coin, they immediately know it is a bicentennial issue. And while these coins were released in large numbers for circulation, collectors quickly saved them because of their patriotic design and commemorative meaning. Even today, finding a nice Eisenhower Bicentennial dollar in circulation is not common because most people who received them decades ago put them aside as keepsakes. That scarcity in everyday use is one of the reasons this coin is considered valuable. Now, many people wonder how valuable the 1976 Eisenhower $1 coin really is. The truth is, value depends on the type of coin, its condition, and where it was minted. The U.S. Mint made bicentennial Eisenhower dollars in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from Philadelphia and Denver were released for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint produced special collector versions in both uncirculated and proof finishes. The proof coins, especially the 40% silver issues, are among the most valuable versions of the 1976 Eisenhower dollar. Collectors love the San Francisco silver-proof bicentennial dollars because of their sharp details, mirror-like surfaces, and precious metal content. These are coins that always attract interest in auctions and coin shows, and they continue to be sought after today. Even the circulation strikes, the Philadelphia and Denver Bicentennial Eisenhower dollars, can hold value if they are preserved in high condition. Many coins that circulated heavily are worn and scratched, but a coin in uncirculated condition, with original luster and sharp detail, will be far more desirable. This is why collectors and coin dealers pay close attention to the grade of a bicentennial Eisenhower dollar. While a well-worn example might not bring high value, a crisp, bright, well-preserved coin can be surprisingly valuable, especially if it has no marks or flaws. That is why I keep telling you that this coin is valuable. It all depends on knowing what to look for. The size of the Eisenhower dollar also adds to its appeal. Unlike smaller coins, the Eisenhower dollar is large and impressive, measuring 38.1 millimeters across. Holding one of these coins in your hand feels different compared to modern dollars like the Susan B. Anthony or the Sacagawea dollar. The Eisenhower dollar has weight, it has presence, and the bicentennial version adds a design that is both patriotic and artistic. Many people who were alive in 1976 remember receiving these coins during the celebrations of the bicentennial, and they often kept them as souvenirs. That personal connection to history makes them meaningful, and meaning often translates into value in the world of coin collecting. The Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar also stands out because it represents the last large-size U.S. dollar coin intended for circulation. After the Eisenhower Dollar, the U.S. Mint moved to smaller dollar coins, and that makes the Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar the last of its kind. Collectors recognize that historical transition, and it only adds to the importance of the coin. Every time a collector sees the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower Dollar with the Liberty Bell and the moon, they see the final chapter of the big dollar coin era in the United States. This is why the Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar continues to be valuable and memorable. When it comes to varieties and special versions, there's some details that make certain bicentennial Eisenhower dollars more desirable. For example, there are Type 1 and Type 2 reverse designs. The Type 1 reverse has bold lettering, while the Type 2 reverse shows more refined, thinner lettering. These small design differences can make a big difference to collectors who look for every variety of the coin. Knowing which type you have can help you understand the value of your Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar. Collectors often pay more for the scarcer varieties, especially in higher grades. The value of the Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar is not only about money. It is about history, symbolism, and the connection people feel to the bicentennial year. In 1976, the entire nation was celebrating 200 years of independence, and these coins were part of that celebration. They were used in daily life, given as gifts, saved as souvenirs, and admired for their unique design. Today, holding one of these coins takes you back to that moment in history, and that is something collectors are willing to pay for. It is important to understand that these coins are valuable not just in dollars, but in the meaning they carry. As we continue to look at the 1976 Eisenhower dollar, we must keep in mind that coin values can change over time. The demand for bicentennial coins remains strong, and every year new collectors enter the hobby and look for these historic issues. That ongoing demand helps keep the value of the Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar steady, and in some cases, rising. Whether you own one coin or many, it is worth paying attention to the condition, the mint mark, and whether it is a circulation strike or a special silver issue. All of these details contribute to the value, and understanding them will help you appreciate your coin even more. So when we ask, is the 1976 Eisenhower $1 coin valuable? The answer is yes, absolutely. It is valuable in terms of history. It is valuable in terms of collectability. And in many cases, it is valuable in terms of money. Every collector who studies U.S. coins will tell you that the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar holds a special place in the hobby. It represents a moment of celebration. It features a bold and patriotic design, and it connects people to a time when America was looking back at its history and forward to its future. That combination of history, design, and symbolism is what makes this coin so valuable. The 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar is more than just a piece of change. It is a collectible treasure, a reminder of America's bicentennial, and a coin that continues to capture the attention of collectors everywhere. If you have one, take a close look at it, because you might be holding a coin that is more valuable than you realized. Now, we'll explore the legendary 1976 Kennedy Bicentennial Half Dollar coin. The 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar is one of the most recognized and collectible coins of the modern United States. and it is a coin that carries both historical meaning and lasting value. When the U.S. Mint released this coin to celebrate the bicentennial of American independence, it was not just another half-dollar entering circulation. It was a coin created to honor 2 centuries of American freedom, while also continuing the legacy of President John F. Kennedy. The result is a coin that collectors treasure today, and the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy Bicentennial Half Dollar remains one of the most popular and valuable American coins from the 20th century. To understand why the 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar is so important, we need to go back to its design and symbolism. The obverse of the coin, the front side, still features the profile portrait of President John F. Kennedy, a design first introduced in 1964 after his tragic assassination. By 1976, this portrait had become iconic, a lasting tribute to the young president whose life was cut short. But for the bicentennial celebration, the reverse design was changed. Instead of the traditional presidential seal with the eagle, the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar displays a beautiful image of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the place where the Declaration of Independence was signed. This design, created by Seth G. Huntington, is powerful because it ties Kennedy's legacy to the very birthplace of American freedom. Collectors see this coin not only as a tribute to Kennedy, but also as a direct connection to the 200th anniversary of the nation's founding. That is one reason why the 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar is valuable. Every 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar carries the dual date, 1776 to 1976, which immediately identifies it as part of the bicentennial celebration. Just like the Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar and the Washington Bicentennial Quarter, the Kennedy Half Dollar stands out because of that dual date and special design. These were not ordinary issues. They were commemorative releases that captured a moment of national pride. Millions were struck for circulation, but because so many people saved them as keepsakes during the celebrations, finding them in everyday pocket change today is rare. That makes the coin stand out even more as a collectible, and coins that survive in mint state condition can hold significant value for collectors. When we talk about the 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar, we must also discuss the different minting versions. The U.S. Mint produced these coins in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia and Denver versions were made for circulation, and many of them show wear from use. But the San Francisco Mint struck special collector issues, including both clad proofs and 40% silver proofs. The silver bicentennial Kennedy Half Dollar is especially valuable because it combines the historical significance of the bicentennial with the precious metal content of silver. Collectors love these silver issues, and they are often worth far more than their face value. This is one of the key reasons why I tell you that the 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar is valuable. It exists not only as a historical coin, but also as a coin with intrinsic metal value in certain versions. Condition is another factor that plays a major role in determining the value of this coin. A worn bicentennial Kennedy Half Dollar that has been in circulation for decades may not bring a high price, but an uncirculated or proof example with bright luster and sharp details can be worth much more. Collectors always look for coins in the highest condition possible, and this applies strongly to the 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar. Coins with no scratches, no signs of wear, and perfect details are the ones that bring premium value. If you have a bicentennial Kennedy Half Dollar that has been carefully preserved, it is definitely worth examining closely, because it could be much more valuable than you think. Another interesting aspect of the 1976 Kennedy Half Dollar is its size and weight. At 30.6 millimeters in diameter and weighing 11.34 grams in the standard copper-nickel clad version, the coin feels substantial in the hand. For the silver issues, the weight and metal content make it even more attractive to collectors who appreciate coins with tangible intrinsic value. The size of the Kennedy Half Dollar has always made it stand out among U.S. coins, and the bicentennial version adds the historical and patriotic design that makes it even more collectible. Many people who received these coins during the bicentennial celebrations held onto them as souvenirs, and that is why they remain in such demand today. It is also important to remember that the Kennedy Half Dollar itself has always been a coin tied to history and emotion. First struck in 1964 as a memorial to President Kennedy, the series became instantly popular with the public. By the time the bicentennial year came, the Kennedy half dollar already had a special place in the hearts of Americans. Combining that emotional connection to Kennedy with the excitement of the bicentennial created a coin that was destined to be treasured. That combination is a big reason why this coin continues to be valuable today. Collectors also pay close attention to varieties and mint marks. For example, coins from Denver have a D mint mark, while coins from San Francisco have an S. Proof coins from San Francisco are especially popular, and when they are in their original packaging or certified in high grades, they can bring significant premiums. The silver versions, struck in both uncirculated and proof finishes, are often the most valuable of all. If you happen to own a 1976 Kennedy half dollar with an S mint mark, it is worth checking whether it is one of the silver issues, because those are the coins collectors chase the most. The 1976 Kennedy half dollar is also valuable because of its place in American culture. The bicentennial was a once-in-a-lifetime celebration, and the coins made for that occasion serve as lasting reminders of the event. People remember fireworks, parades, patriotic displays, and the pride of 200 years of independence. The Kennedy half dollar from that year captures all of those feelings in a small piece of metal, making it more than just currency. For many people, it is a memory and a piece of heritage. This cultural and emotional value adds to the demand among collectors, ensuring that the 1976 Kennedy half dollar continues to hold an important spot in U.S. numismatics. Even though millions of bicentennial Kennedy half dollars were minted, their value has grown because of demand, condition, and special versions. Some may not realize it, but many of these coins are worth more than face value, and in the right condition or in silver, they can be surprisingly valuable. This is why I want you to remember that the 1976 Kennedy half dollar is valuable. It is not just another half dollar. It is a coin that represents history, patriotism, and collectability all in one. As we look at the long-term future of coin collecting, the 1976 Kennedy Bicentennial Half Dollar will remain a key piece. It is widely collected. It is loved by both new collectors and experienced numismatists, and it will always symbolize the bicentennial of the United States. The design of Independence Hall and the portrait of Kennedy together create one of the most meaningful coin designs in U.S. history. That is why this coin remains valuable, and why so many collectors continue to search for the best examples of it. So when someone asks, is the 1976 Kennedy half dollar worth collecting? The answer is yes, absolutely. It is valuable as a historical keepsake. It is valuable as a collectible coin, and in many cases it is valuable in monetary terms as well. Whether you have one from circulation, or you own a silver proof from San Francisco, you are holding a piece of American history that carries meaning far beyond 50 cents. The 1976 Kennedy half dollar is one of those coins that every collector wants to own. It connects us to the bicentennial. It honors President Kennedy. It celebrates independence. And it carries real collector value. That is why this coin will always be remembered and always be considered valuable. And that brings us to the end of this video about the 1976 Eisenhower Bicentennial One Dollar coin and the 1976 Kennedy Bicentennial Half Dollar coin. Both of these bicentennial coins are not just ordinary pieces of change. They are coins filled with history, meaning, and collector value. The Eisenhower Bicentennial Dollar, with the Liberty Bell and the moon, and the Kennedy Bicentennial Half Dollar, with Independence Hall, are powerful reminders of the 200th anniversary of American independence, and they continue to stand out as some of the most collectible U.S. coins of the 20th century. These coins are valuable because of their patriotic designs, their connection to the bicentennial year, their special silver issues, and the way collectors treasure them even today. If you have one of these coins, hold on to it, because you might be surprised at how much it can be worth, especially in the right condition or if it is one of the silver issues. These coins are valuable to collectors all around the world, and they will always remain an important part of U.S. coin history. Thank you for watching and staying with me through this entire video. By learning more about the 1976 Eisenhower $1 and the 1976 Kennedy half dollar, you can see why so many people want to collect these coins and why their value continues to grow. Always remember, bicentennial coins are more than just money. They are treasures of history, and they are valuable pieces that every collector should appreciate.